Hi guys, it's month 17 of Prompt Squad. We've been doing this challenge for almost a year and a half, which is a bit bizarre to think about. The prompt for this month was happy, so we all interpreted that word in our own personal way. So what it means to us maybe, or creating something that will make others happy. Kind of just depended how you felt about that word. And with everything going on, I kind of wanted to have a prompt that felt a little bit more light-hearted, and I was really chuffed to see all the wonderful art that the members of Prompt Squad made this month, and I really can't wait to show you how all of them went later this video. But I'm going to begin with what I made this month. I've been working digitally for quite a while now, and with the sun finally getting out and it actually being spring now, I decided to have a little break from that and go back to traditional for a little bit this time. I wouldn't say painting with watercolours is like the only type of art that makes me happy, but I would say working with watercolours and more physical medias is a lot more relaxing to me. I get into a more meditative headspace when I'm doing it, whereas when it comes to digital, it's all still really new to me, and so it's more of a challenge, but I kind of like that too. I think it's easy to get into a rut when you know what you're doing and when you're kind of used to these certain rules of how something works. So kind of bringing failure back into something you enjoy. I think it's good just to try and learn something new again in the thing that you enjoy and find out these new rules and all of these aspects of it. But it was nice to chill out and paint for a bit, especially as I was trying to paint something really chill and relaxing this time. So I've been living in Calypso, my Animal Crossing town, for the last couple of months, and I know I'm pretty bad with social media just anyway, but I've somehow gotten even more reclusive on there, and I'm going to blame this in part. But it is nice just chilling out on the island and just, doing a bit of fishing, actually being able to pay off, my many debts, even if it's to a tanuki. But yeah, my favourite thing about it though is Shari. She's one of my villagers in my island and she looks like this little squirrel monkey. I'm always finding her going and singing by the water, and I love it so much. Whenever I find her doing it, I've just got a massive smile on my face. It's just so sweet and lovely. I mean, she's never leaving my house, it's how it is. She's my next door neighbour. She can never leave the island. She has to understand that. But yeah, I think what makes me happiest about it is it just kind of makes you take a moment and listen. And it's kind of like this firm stop. And I don't really do that very often. To be honest, I kind of find it hard to do that. So it's really nice to have something that can let me do that very easily. And I kind of feel that way whenever I hear her singing. I remember reading an interview with Hayao Miyazaki where he was talking about happiness, and he said he was kind of against it from memory. His point was that people say their aim in life is to be happy. And he thought that not only was a pretty selfish outlook, but also not really possible, because happy is kind of a transient kind of idea. It isn't a fixed thing. And though I know it probably isn't a popular outlook on it, I do kind of agree with him. Your happiness is obviously important, but having it as your end goal is a little bit unachievable. It's kind of like when a difficult job says to you, oh, it's a passion, you need passion to do this. But passion, like happiness, is a result of something, is a result of an action. It comes from something happening. It isn't a thing that exists itself in a vacuum on its own. Or at least that's not how I personally experienced it. Maybe you disagree with me. I feel like to be happy is based on the actions that you can choose, and so that should be your focus. Not just a focus on the emotion itself as an abstract, because then it just feels unachievable, because it kind of is when you don't have any input. Anyway, I'm going to stop waxing poetic here. This is what happens when I paint with watercolours for the first time in a while. You'll have to tell me though what you think, Prompt Squad, about happiness. I kind of think that emotions are always interesting to talk about with other people because we're all experiencing them individually. It's something really unique to us, so I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Especially if you made something for this prompt, if it made you think differently about happiness. I've actually got a bit more news to talk about too, and I kind of wasn't sure whether to add it here, but with the prompt being happy and my radio silence everywhere, I thought I'd maybe do a quick life update on what's been going on for us and what's been making me happy in general. So for one, I got engaged to my partner of 11 years, and I'm trying not to flash my ring too much in this video, and luckily it's good because it's on my left hand, so I doubt you're going to see it too much, but I didn't want it to be annoying. Plus, I actually got some of my art published in a magazine for the first time. It's in this French magazine called Ciné Story, where they compiled a load of work by different artists. It's all about Harry Potter and different things in the universe, and they used my postcard series I made a few years ago that was all dedicated to the wizarding schools from around the world. I'm going to try and show a bit of it to you in this video. I did have to crack open Google Translate for a while just to help me actually read what it said, but it's been good fun to read it. Plus the other illustrators in here, their work is just fantastic, so I felt really chuffed just with it included. But yeah, that's my big news this month. It's funny because I feel odd talking about this stuff. I know it's my channel and my video or whatever, but I'm always awkward mentioning any other work that I do. You'll have to tell me if you liked hearing about any of this in the future, or if you'd rather I just kind of cut it out and keep to the basic script. But anyway, let's get on to the more important thing and actually show off all the wonderful art that's been created this month for the prompt Happy by our lovely members of Prompt Squad. Lisbeth Art created two beautiful pieces inspired by their favourite animal, the fox. I love her characterisation of the foxes. They look really expressive and alive to me, like I can feel the emotions of the foxes as I'm looking at them, which is just so amazing. Also, kind of selfishly, I really love foxes because my last name is Todd, which means fox in Old English, and our family crest has foxes on it and all this, so I'm a bit of a sucker for foxes anyway. But her foxes are wonderful just in their own right. And my favourite aspect of them is how she's layered her pencil strokes to create the visual effect of fur, like it gives it this 3D effect, which looks really good. Farphoto's created this wonderful mixed media piece for Happy, and I love their abstract take on it because it's kind of more like a visual representation of Happy without relying on a subject or a specific thing. And one of the things that I love about art is that it does have its own visual language, and you can tell Farphotos knows that and how to use it well in their art. Plus, they told me that it's National Smile Day on June 15th, and I wish I was clever enough to say, oh yeah, I knew that before I chose the prompt, but no, I'm glad to know now, and I'm really glad we were all able to create a piece over that time too. Emily created a piece that also was a draw this in your style too. I knew it immediately when I saw it, but like always with Emily's work, her style kind of cuts through and shines on its own right. I love the layered, sketchy look that she gave the character, kind of like creating these different layers of the sketch and the finished piece. It just gives it this traditional feel to what is a distinctly digital painting. Plus it really goes well with the palette that she chose and this airy feel of the painting in general. It's just a beautiful illustration, as always, by, OG member of Prompt Squad. And on OGs, Dave created a brilliant piece with the prompt Happy too. I know I don't have to say it because it's obvious when you see it, but he recreated the scene from Pharrell's Happy video. But what I personally love about his interpretation is how he framed the scene. Having this character just spread himself out in the middle of the composition, kind of like draws your eye directly to the centre. But then he gave all of the characters' features and expressions without going too far so that they distract you from the overall composition. I just think it's a great illustration, and I always feel like, damn, why didn't I think of that whenever I see Dave's work? But he does a beautiful job of it. Art of Troy Palmer painted a beautiful portrait of this babe in a rose using acrylics, no less. I think all artists know how hard it is to draw, let alone paint babies. They're like a nightmare. Anytime I do it, they look like little old people. But he didn't do that. I think he did a really good job achieving it in what I think also is the hardest and least forgiving paints. So I think, well done to Troy. It's a gorgeous painting, both in the colours and his execution of it. It's just brilliant work. And lastly this month is Tara, who created this beautiful painting in watercolours. My god, the flow of this one and the colour palette, it's all really gentle and dreamy. I feel like Tara's display of happiness is closest to what I was trying to do, but hers has a softness to it which I really love. It's just stunning, and I hope you'll all go give her some love as a new member of Prompt Squad too. And that's all the members of Prompt Squad this month. I wanted to thank you all for taking the time to create such gorgeous art for this prompt. I know personally having this little community coming together every month to make something personal and unique to themselves, it just really cheers me up to see it when bringing it all together, and I hope you all feel the same. If you have any suggestions for future prompts, make sure to message or comment your ideas and I'll add them to the list that I picked randomly from. This month's prompt is actually picked from the first ever video that we did like a year and a half ago, so no matter how long ago you feel it might have been, if you do mention it, it is on the list and it will get picked at some point. But this month the prompt is bubble, and I think it's going to be interesting how you all respond to this. I'd say any word that you can derive from bubble is fair game as well, so bubbly or bubbling, however you want to interpret it, whatever medium you want to use, just create a piece of art inspired by the prompt and tag it with hashtag promptsquad. And if you're on Instagram or even on here, don't worry about tagging me too. I always feel kind of funny tagging people in my posts. I always feel like I'm maybe being rude or not. I don't know if you all feel the same, but I do. But don't worry, I want to see what you did, so don't let me miss it. The deadline's going to be Tuesday, 14th of July, so a day after my birthday. I can't wait to see what you all are going to make for it. It's going to be an interesting one, I think, because I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do, so I want to see what all of you guys do. I hope you're all doing well and that you enjoyed this month's Prompt Squad. Make sure to show all your love and appreciation to all the artists of Prompt Squad and what they did. All links to all of them are down in the description so they're easier to find. I want to say good luck with this month's prompt and I'll chat to you all soon. See you later.